Hello everyone, and welcome to this brand new first construction update for the East San Fernando Valley Light Rail Line. Let's take a look at all of the current construction progress and see what they've done so far here on Tiger Rail Fan. Before we get straight into the construction, let's get a look at the route map. The blue at the bottom is going to be phase 1 of the extension, while the green is phase 2. Most of the utility relocation is located between the Nuys Metrolink Station and the Nuys G Line Station, where we are at right now. You can also find a separate construction update for the G Line grade separation project, which is separating the G Line busway from the very busy Van Nuys Boulevard here. This is also a major bus connection point to the Rapid 761 and Local 233, which are some of the most popular bus routes here in the San Fernando Valley. Let's go ahead and jump on board and start exploring the route. The Rapid 761 bus that we're on right now will exactly follow the light rail route as we begin heading north from the G Line Van Nuys Station. We initially see no construction here, and construction, or utility relocation rather, doesn't start until around halfway to the Van Nuys Metrolink Station. So we're going to go ahead and skip to that point where we begin to see some noticeable construction on the sides of the road. And as you saw in the beginning of the video, the construction does get quite extensive, so make sure to stay tuned for that. And here we are now at the intersection of Van Nuys and Bose, which is the approximate midpoint between the G Line bus station and the Van Nuys Metrolink Station. And as we pass the intersection, continuing northbound on the Rapid 761, we can see cones on the right hand side, which is actually not related to the G Line, but rather a building demolition happening right next door. But immediately after that little alleyway, we can see the shoulder, and a large portion of the sidewalk is also closed over here, which is going to be for the East San Fernando Valley Light Rail Line. It's worth noting that throughout today's video, you won't see any tracks being laid or anything like that, as the line has only been under construction for a couple of years, and it's not expected to be done until 2031. It's worth noting that is the estimated opening date for the second phase. The first phase, which you can see in the blue text right there, but there's currently no opening date for the phase 1 of the extension. Construction has not yet begun on phase 2, as they are still working on how to adjust the right-of-way that currently houses a Metrolink track. That'll leave room for expansion for a potential double track, in addition to Metro's 2 light rail tracks. So that'll be something that they will have to work on. But as we just passed some of the bus stops that are leading up to the Van Nuys Metrolink, we can see that they have a platform temporarily built on the right-hand shoulder in order to help maintain these bus stops while extensive construction is going on here for utility relocation. I'm not sure if this has been done for the local bus stops, however, all of the Rapid 761 bus stops are maintained. As you'll see in a bit though, there is quite a bit of traffic. But on the right hand side here at Valerio and Van Nuys, there is still a lot of construction going on, only on the right hand side of the street, which is interesting. So that is probably where all the utilities are being relocated. Probably from underneath the street off to the side. There's some excavating equipment as well on the right hand side, and some construction workers, so it's good to see that work is actively being done while the Van Nuys Boulevard is in this unideal state right here. It's good to see that all of the driveways and turnoffs to the right are maintained as well, so impacts to transit riders and drivers will be minimal. And this continues as well on the right hand side as we continue up Van Nuys Boulevard towards the Van Nuys Metrolink Station. Skipping forward by just a few seconds here is where we're going to hit our first big amount of traffic here. We are just before the Van Nuys Metrolink Station, which is at the intersection of Van Nuys and Keswick. But if we look off on our right hand side, we can see how the construction area is going underground here, and there's an access point down below. Not too sure what's going on, does not look very active over there, but I'm pretty happy with the presence of construction workers earlier on. And again, this project is in extremely early stages of construction, so I'm not going to be nitpicking too much. As we got the green light here, let's go ahead forward, and the construction on the right-hand side does open for a right-hand turn, which is nice. But the construction will shortly resume with machinery as well, just past the intersection. So let's go ahead and skip some of the traffic here to get a closer look. After a couple of light cycles, we're now moving forward. So let's go ahead and get a closer look at what's happening over here, just past the intersection of Saticoy and Van Nuys. As we continue passing on the right-hand side, there is similar construction to what we've seen at the previous streets. So let's go ahead and speed up the video a little bit here until we see something new. We're now coming up to the Van Nuys Metrolink Station, as you can see by the train tracks just ahead. Here is the intersection of Keswick and Van Nuys, which indicates that the Van Nuys bus platform will be right on the right-hand side. This is also where we see another break in construction and the traffic is finally alleviated. It's hard to pinpoint where the traffic came from and if it was caused by the construction here, as there was no lane closures, but perhaps it's just a bunch of traffic lights in a row that aren't synced. But now as we continue north beneath the Van Nuys Metrolink and Amtrak train tracks, we're going to see that the construction on the right-hand side of the street is now stopped. And this does bring us to the end of the major construction that we saw earlier, but I do expect this area to be next for utility relocation. Hopefully they repave the road too, especially in the beginning areas where we saw all that construction at. The road was definitely in a pretty rough shape. There's also a lot of suburban sprawl over here, so hopefully improvements are made with walkability, similar to how the D line has some improvements with some new medians, wider sidewalks, and more street decorations. But that does bring us to the end of this month's construction update. If you do enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe for more, especially as I'm going to be new to this construction update project. If you do want to see more from the East San Fernando light rail project, make sure to leave a like and comment down below. That way I'll know that you enjoy the content and I'll film more of these videos. Thank you so much for watching and have an amazing rest of your day or night.